Aloha friends, welcome to this new moon solar eclipse energy reading. There's a lot of different energies that came through with this one. Actually, in truth, my guides came to me about 3 days ago to do this reading. And I pulled all the cards, set them in their piles, and there was so much energy, so much purging and letting go, and just really dense energies that came through, that it was too much for me to do the reading. I just didn't have the energy to do it myself. It took a lot out of me to just pull the cards and to start the transmuting and alchemy process for those that are receiving messages, because they did want me to alchemize and also bring some layers up to transmute for self. So I did that, and then I finally got back into the energy to do this reading, and the piles shifted. So some of the energy changed in the last 2 days. And so some of these, I think only one of these decks is still the same. Most of them switched up. But I feel like it's going to be a really powerful reading, and it should bring you some messages to move forward from, this eclipse season and all of the density that is brought up, because there's been a lot, right? There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot going on with Mother Nature. And so this hopefully will bring you a little bit of relief and maybe some answers to what you need. So there are 5 piles today. So the first pile is going to start here on the left. And then we have the second, third, fourth, and fifth pile. So go ahead and pause for a moment if you'd like. I always find it's best to just close my eyes, take a nice deep breath in through the nose, fill up my belly into my chest, and then open mouth exhale. Just let that energy go. And this time, again, another deep breath in, and on the exhale, you will open your eyes and be guided to the message that your guides have for you. So I'll pause for you to do that now. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start with pile number 1. There will be timestamps below, so you can tap in to your timestamp for the pile that you chose. We'll start with pile number 1. All right, aloha to those of you that picked pile number 1. These cards are all randomly drawn to whatever messages need to come through for you at this time during this new moon solar eclipse. So let's go ahead and just get right into it. And I feel like there's gonna be more of a transmission, they're saying, with this one, so it should be interesting. But let's go ahead and get right into it. I have not looked at any of these cards, so I don't know what's coming up. So here we go. Okay, so the first card is spontaneity. Hopefully you can all see that. And it says, you move beyond the constraints of the mind and freely and lovingly embrace new situations. So the energy that the guides are bringing in now, it's a really loving energy, but it's very playful, very light. It's telling you that you need to loosen up. You've probably been spending a lot of time being serious, not necessarily like in your mind where you're overthinking, but you've just had a lot going on, like a lot of moving pieces to shift into, through this transition, through this eclipse season. So you seemed very focused, on point, like doing everything that you need to do, but your guides are asking you to relax a little bit, and not just relax in the not into a calm relaxation. They actually want you to play and move. I'm feeling like a lot of movement, a lot of joy and laughter. Like what's coming in for you with the close of eclipse season is really like a lot of joy and bliss and just blessings of seeing what you've been working on finally come into fruition. So it starts off with, being spontaneous, going out and doing something different, or maybe you heard of something like a pottery class, or maybe you go to like a gong bath or a breath work session, or maybe it's just getting out into the ocean and playing and jumping in the water, or going up into the mountains and exploring. It's really just a place where you can play and be in the energy of like your inner child and a lot of joy. So let's see what's next here. Okay, so the next card is from the crystal deck, and it's Cooperite. And this energy, wow, if you can, the purples and the like deep reds are in this, are really beautiful, and so much detail. They're saying, look more at the crystal itself. Like there's so many little details to this crystal. And what they're saying is that you are in this space, like the rites of passage, right? You're in this space now where this transition for you, I feel like this has taken a long time. Like this is a soul transition for you. It's not just like a graduation. It's something that you've been working on for either many lifetimes or they're confirming many lifetimes. Thank you. That you've been working on for many lifetimes, that your soul has been evolving through. And right now your soul is going through this rite of passage. And, it's a lot of work. And sometimes, like, if you look at some of the things that native cultures do for rite of passage, it's not always the easiest task. Like, it's not something that you can just do really easy and then, boom, you're in your womanhood or in your manhood or whatever it may be. But there's usually a process leading up to it, and then there's some kind of test. And so if you've been feeling like you've been tested lately, like, you've been doing all this work, you've been focused, you've been determined, and you're just not quite there yet, just know that they're saying you have a really positive attitude around it, but know that like the reason this has taken so long, thank you, Spirit, is because it is a rite of passage for your soul. It's something much higher than you can explain in this realm. And so your soul is just upgrading and shifting exponentially. And what's coming to you is going to be just really, just like I said, so much joy, so much bliss. Like I have all this happy energy coming in. And so the next card is surrender, and they're asking you to surrender to Mother Nature. And so again, like the relaxing, right? It says take a relaxing break, spend time in nature, replenish yourself by feeling the beauty and the ecstasy that are there. So I feel like they were spot on when they said, like get into the ocean, go play in the ocean, or go hike and explore in the mountains, or maybe jump into a river. But really like relax into Mother Nature and let her hold you, because you've done so well. It's like the energy they're giving me is like, when you're running a race and you prep for it, and it takes a lot. Like when you run a race, you don't just learn how to run, you actually have to prep the body. You have to make sure that you're eating right, and that you're getting enough rest, and that you're doing different workouts like lifting weights, or doing things that move the body differently so your body can get prepared for that. And so that's what you've been doing. You've been in this focused state of like getting everything prepared and ready. And now, it's time, like the race is over. You've done so much, and now it's time to just relax and to just bask in what's coming to you, right? Like it's like you've already won the race, and now it's time to, maybe just take up the joys in life. Eat something that you love that you weren't able to have while you were training, right? Or go somewhere and do something. I know when I was training in ballroom dancing, there were a lot of things that we couldn't do while we were training to be in competition. And so, going back afterwards is always like, oh, okay, now I can do those things because I don't have to worry about getting ready for something. And that's really what Spirit is telling you now. And then, oh yeah, so you see, like, this is the elemental deck, and they're showing like you're in this space of, okay, interesting. They're telling me beyond unity. So I've never quite heard that before, that expression beyond unity, but I feel like even just like the way that the minds are opening up, and thank you. And so it's like to get you here to where you're at, part of your training was letting go of things that you thought were once true, and allowing your mind to open up to what really is true for you. And so the example they're giving me is like, when we grew up a certain way and maybe we knew things were a little off, or that, we could have done something different. And instead of doing things different, we say like, oh, well, the whole family has done it this way. So, and everyone else turned out okay. So, this is the way it is. And it's like, no, you're like that cycle breaker. Like you come in and you're like, yeah, no, something's off. Right. It's like they say, like, diabetes runs in my family, and the real answer is like, well, what is the family eating? What kind of foods are they nourishing their bodies with? And when you go back to those states and you go, oh yeah, okay, we're not eating so well, so maybe if our family changes our eating habits and we start eating better, then we'll be in a better space. And so that's part of this process that you've been through. It's really letting go of a lot of things that you saw that were, or that you thought, that you thought were truths at one point, and then finding your own truth. So it may be a mixture of, well, yeah, it does run in our family, but also there are things that we can do to shift that so that it doesn't continue to run in our family, or so that we have a better chance at it, ending, with this generation or with the next generation, so it doesn't continue to run through the family. So again, just a big soul shift here. The energy feels really good overall. Let's see what the last one is. So the last one here, hopefully you can screenshot that if you'd like. But it says, you are a beautiful, gifted, and sensitive soul, traveling a golden path of creativity and light. You are on your way to fulfilling your heart's deepest desires. Enjoy each precious moment along your path to ever greater love and wisdom. So pretty simple reading, but it's just giving you that reassurance that the work is done. Like the hard work is over. You've done so much and you've really shifted. And so it's time for you to enjoy the fruits of your labor and watch it all come in. So take some time, rest, relax, get out into nature, and know that, there's the rest of this Gregorian calendar year feels really good. It feels really not just forward moving, but they're showing me just like bright lights, like opportunities opening up, and you feeling like everything is finally coming to fruition. And it feels so good because it's been, like I said, a soul journey. So something much deeper than, just the years that we spend here on earth, right? Okay, well, thank you. Pile number 1. Have a wonderful rest of your day or evening or when you're watching this. And we'll move on to pile number 2. Thank you. Pile number 2. So you chose this card, and we're going to go ahead and get right into your reading. Okay. So right off the bat, we have number 16, and there's some energy moving here. There's actually an activation in this card, and so I'll pause it so you can take a screenshot here if you'd like. But it says the Midas touch. So the Midas touch, right, is like everything turns to gold. Everything you can see, like her fingertips are gold. And what my guides are pointing out is that the head is like a little blurry, and the hands are very detailed, and it's this energy, and there's this light coming through here, and it's this energy of being so tapped in and in a really good space intuitively. Like the third eye is open, it is balanced, and right now everything is coming to fruition. So this eclipse season actually feels really good for you. It doesn't feel like it didn't feel like a difference, they're saying. My guides are saying that it kind of just came and went for you, and you didn't feel like it was a lot of heavy purging or a lot of darkness or anything that came up, but you also didn't feel like it was a lot of light and play and bliss. So it was just kind of in between, like a very content place to be. And but a steady rise, they're saying. Thank you. A steady rise to, get to where you need to be so that your life can become more abundant. Put that there. And we'll move on to the card 2. So the second card is saying surrender to miracles. Okay, so what my guides are telling me is that there's been some doubt. Like there's been doubt about what you actually are bringing in. Thank you. It took me a moment to translate that message from spirit. But what you're actually bringing in. So what kind of energy? So it's like you know what you want. You've been like slowly or quietly manifesting or creating it, but it's so abundant and so big that it's almost unbelievable at times. It's like, wow, can this actually happen? Like, can my life shift this much? And they're saying, like, it can. You've already experienced this throughout your lifetime at different times. So maybe go back and do like maybe go back and list like the things that you've overcome and how your life has shifted in different ways. And then, once you do that, it'll open up the bigger picture, and you'll see like that there has been a lot that you've been through and you've processed through, and it's always turned out for the better. But right now it's so abundant and like I can't even talk because there's so much energy coming through. And so they're saying like surrender to the thought that big things can happen for you, like good, amazing, wonderful things can happen for you. That's part of what has blocked you from this not happening sooner, is that there's a little piece of you. And so the reason this is coming up is so that you can surrender to it through this full moon solar eclipse and be able to fully let it go. Is surrendering to the thought that, it's like people say, oh yeah, well, good things never happen to me, or when something good happens to me, something bad always follows. And they want you to get out of that energy and expect that what's coming in is going to be miraculous and abundant and amazing, and you deserve it. So surrendering to that energy. And then, the dolphins are so playful, and you see them like playing and crashing in these waves. What's interesting though is that it's during like this full moon and in nighttime, and so they're saying like the part of you that's not surrendering is the darkness, the shadow work, the not feeling like you're good enough, so the self-worth. So really working on your solar plexus is going to be good for you. Wearing the color gold, eating gold foods or bright yellow, those are going to help you tap into that solar plexus. And I actually have 3 stones here that are all in that same energy. So even if you wanted to tap into the energy of these stones, these are golden healers and golden calcite. And or if you have these stones, carry them on you, because they're going to be significant in helping you really feel like you're worth everything that's coming in for you. And so then we have the elemental card of fire. So again, that solar plexus, that really feeling like you're worthy, feeling like you deserve everything that you're getting. They're asking you to, your guides are asking you to spark that fire inside of you, to let it ignite, right? Let it, they're telling me that the reason you haven't is because it may have gotten out of balance before. And now that message, thank you, Spirit, for reminding me that message may not be for everybody. So take what's for you and leave the rest. But they're really wanting me to drive that through for somebody, is that, you may have like gotten to this fiery energy before and it got out of control. So there may have been like an opportunity that came your way and everything felt great, and perhaps you abused it, or you didn't treat it with love and kindness and fragility. And with a fire, if you treat it with love and kindness and fragility, it's going to continue to burn for you, right? Like you, instead of getting out of control, right? And that's what they're saying, is that at one point on your soul journey, that fire is burned out of control, and you may have made some decisions that were not in your best interest for your highest self. And so that's where the fear is of not being good enough, of not, if I get there, it's going to be too much. Like the ego really is coming in with this card. So a lot of ego energy, and it's good. The ego energy is good. They want you to stay in that energy, but they want you to know that it's also shifted, and it's in a place where you can light that fire, and it's not going to get out of control, and you are going to be able to use it for your benefit, to bring in the things that you want in your life, and really step into your authenticity. So let's see. Okay, so the heart card they have is cooperation. And it says, in your quest to manifest the energy of love, you realize that every person and experience has value. Right, so again with this, and they're saying like the heart opening, the green energy that's around here. So it's knowing that we radiate, thank you, there's, my guide stopped me. We receive what we radiate out. So when we're radiating in love and kindness and authenticity, that's what we're going to receive back from people. And so it's asking you to be in this space with self, and cooperation really is cooperating your ego, harmonizing your ego with your higher self, so that you come into a place where you know you are deserving, and you open yourself up for all of these good things that are coming, like the Midas touch, the everything turns to gold. It's like you can be a powerful manifester or co-creator with spirit, but you've got to get through this little bit of fear of playing with the fire and it getting out of control. And then surrender to receiving support and love. Excuse me. And so a lot of throat chakra clearing. I'm feeling, okay, we're going to do a little activation for that. Interesting. I felt like this was all solar plexus, but they're saying to do a little throat activation because, thank you for the message, Spirit, because the throat activation and speaking your truth and being in your power will help you be more confident and stand in your light, and it'll help actually balance out the solar plexus. So if you're open to receive, I'm going to go ahead and do that for you now, and then we'll come back to the receiving love and support, which I guess was very validating with asking you to receive this transmission. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up the energy channel. Ooh. Shinaka to Funamanana Kinini, Sinana Kaniata to Manana, Hirata Fatuto Manana Kinin, Stitin and Yanana, Hirata Tamana to Manana Kinian, Stitin and Yanana, Hirata Fotomanana Kanayan entertaining and Sanana Kananeti Futomana, Hirata Tumanana Kanayan and it is Tinana Yanakita Fotomana, Hirapatish to Manana Kinin. So just a little bit of blockage in the throat. We went ahead and cleared that for those who are open to receive. And now I'm just asking my guides to come in and help harmonize the ego with the higher self. So I'm seeing a figure 8 run from the solar plexus around and up through the crown, and then opening up on either end to connect with a higher power, and then to also keep grounded so that the connection can go higher. So just finishing that up now. Yeah, and then just so much joy and happiness. There's a lot of abundance here. It's really the only thing that is stopping you from stepping into it is yourself. So give yourself some love, tap into that solar plexus, use some of the golden crystals, or wear or eat things that are gold or bright yellow. That will definitely help activate that for you. And then, so obviously the surrender and receiving support and love, it's asking you, your guides are asking you to allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to be a little vulnerable, and maybe ask for help when you need it. And if the people around you are not giving you the support that you're needing, then being able to let go and call in the people that are going to support you in what you're doing. Any more messages for pile number 2, Spirit? Keep going. That's what I heard. Keep going. Thank you, pile number 2. All right, moving on to the next pile. For some reason, I feel like these got out of balance, so it's a good thing that there are photos on the top. I will make sure that the photos match what was in the message in the beginning. So moving on to the next pile. For those of you that chose this pile, aloha, welcome. Let's go ahead and see what card number 1 is bringing us. So surrender, procrastination. All right, so right off the top, what I'm getting is that there's been this, okay, not just through the eclipse season, thank you, Spirit, eclipse season is highlighting it, but there's been this soul journey for you of procrastinating, of waiting till the last minute, and part of that is feeling like you're not good enough. Or also, thank you, Spirit, also, for some of you, it's feeling like you're not good enough. And for others, it's having grown up or been around a lot of chaos, a lot of moving parts. Things are always happening and things are always moving, and there's no time to slow down and do anything. And so you tend to put things off until the last minute, and you're really good at getting things done, like in crunch time when there is no more time and you have to get it done. You're actually really good at that, but they're asking you to ease up on yourself. Your body needs a break, and it's, you know, the energy that this eclipse season has brought in is really starting to understand our bodies on a different level and what can help us slow down, what can help us get into a better, more relaxed state of being. So not always in that fight, flight, or freeze state, but really being able to slow down, to take a deep breath, to let your nervous system settle. I'm getting that a lot of people that chose this pile have experienced life like really in the fast lane, is what they're telling me. Like just a lot going on all the time and never really time to just slow down and take time for yourself. So they're asking you to surrender to that now, and to start maybe putting aside, you know, or making a list of goals or things that you need to get done, and then working out the time management to get those things done so that you're not doing them last minute. And by doing this and taking action slowly, it's actually going to bring you a lot more success than waiting till the last minute. And I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. So we'll move on to the next card, and it is the ice card. So ice is the water element, and water is my favorite element. There is so much power in water that I think people really don't grasp how powerful water is. But it's a great transmuter. It really brings things to the surface to be cleared. So what they're saying, and you see like she's in deep relaxation here, and the horse is like running. So it's like this lifetime of always go, 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 and always doing something, and then getting to the point where it's like the energy they're having me feel is like extreme exhaustion, just so much that, you know, you go, 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 you do things last minute, and then you get to the point where you tap out because there's like your body physically cannot keep up with the energy anymore. And especially with us rising into the higher dimensions, the higher levels of consciousness, it's, you know, being in a state of good. Thank you. They said go deeper. Being in a state of always needing to do something is really like the Piscean age, the Industrial Revolution, the like get things done, you know, always making sure that you're doing something, like so that you don't feel, you know, what society calls as lazy, or you don't look down upon by, you're not looked down upon by anybody. But what we're shifting now with our bodies actually crystallizing and raising up to a higher level of consciousness is going back to ancient times where there were communities and people came together and they helped each other. And in that space, there was time for relaxation. There was time to slow down. It wasn't everybody do everything for themselves kind of thing. It was everyone contribute together. So it's, again, just asking you to relax your parasympathetic nervous system. There's been just so much that has been put on your body throughout this lifetime. And so they're just asking you to really take time to slow down. And in that time to slow down, the ice energy is going to come in and actually start to transmute things. And transmute is bringing things to the surface and then letting them go. So if you're holding on to anything, if there's anyone that you haven't given forgiveness to and you feel like you need to, or if you need to forgive self and you feel like you haven't done that, then now is a really good time for that during this solar eclipse. Maybe make a list, write down the things that, you know, that have kept you in go mode. And a lot of times, and this is spirit, the message that they want me to get through to you is, a lot of times we tend to be in go mode and continue to like want to do something or be with someone or have music on or have something playing in the background, because we have a hard time being in silence with self, because being in silence with self is what brings up those old memories, or brings up those old mistakes that we made, or the choices that we could have, you know, made differently, or whatever it is that's like looming in your energy centers, in your emotional space. And so if you can give yourself the time to silence the mind and not have any music playing, or not have to be go, or not scrolling through any kind of media, and really just come to a space where you're quiet with self. Maybe that's in nature. Maybe it's just, instead of turning on the TV, you lay down and quietly just listen to what your body needs and let it relax. It's going to be really beneficial for you. I actually just went through this whole process earlier this year, and I had to teach myself how to rest. And I know that afterwards, what comes from learning how to give yourself that time to finally get out of what I call chaos mode, where something always has to be happening, it really shifts your perspective on life, and it really starts to open you up to so many more opportunities. And so now we have the Priestess of the Light Oracle coming through with duality, many meanings and misunderstandings. So the woman here actually represents Mary Magdalene. And if you know the story of Mary Magdalene, she really was made out to be something that she wasn't. She actually was, she actually did a lot for her community. She was really one of the divine mothers, and there's so much negative energy that has been spoken about her over time through different religions. And so when you, what it's bringing up in this reading is like how much people really don't know you, right? Like you It's like you feel like people just don't get you on an emotional and energetic level. Like they see you, they see what you do, they might vibe with some of the things that you do, but it doesn't go any deeper than that. And it's because you're not allowing yourself to go any deeper with that. So really, I feel like this reading is asking you to surrender to some shadow energy, to see, you know, maybe some of the mistakes that you made or choices that you made that you weren't proud of, or some of the things that you felt like you could have shifted or done differently, to let those things come up now, so that that guilt, that shame, that resentment, whatever those negative energy feelings are, so that they can come out and be released and really let go of with this solar eclipse. And so yeah, the heal by releasing, not suppressing, right? So what emotions do you need to feel? It really is in line with this. So what shadows, I call them shadows. I feel like it makes, for me, it makes more sense to call it shadows. I feel like a lot of those emotions are not, okay, thank you, Spirit, we're not accepted by society, right? Like, we don't want to see people get mad. We don't want to see people get sad. You see someone sad, and what's the first thing people try to do? They usually try to cheer them up. Oh, it's going to be okay. Like, everything's going to work out. And really, they just need to process through that sadness. So whatever energy this is pulling up, and I feel like it's a lot of weight. Like, I feel a lot of weight in my shoulders, like a lot of things that you've been holding on to that are just really ready to go. So, you know, asking with this eclipse if we can just fully surrender to that and be able to let go and allow yourself to rest and feel into your body and what your body needs and how you can support it. And then the last card here is Sacred Geometry of the Soul. Now there's a lot of light codes in this card. This is a really powerful deck. So if you want to take a screenshot of this and meditate on it, or you can just keep this vision in your head. I am going to do, they're saying like a, thank you, a gift from Metatron. So that's funny because I actually brought Metatron, the symbol, in here. So I'm going to actually just bring this down here, and I'll leave this here. And I'm going to go ahead and do some clearing because there's some stuff that's ready to be alchemized for you. So I'm going to go ahead and help with that today. If you are open to receiving this energy alchemizing, all you have to do is close down your eyes and say yes. And I'm going to go ahead and tap into your energy and start to relieve some of that stress, some of that heaviness in your shoulders. So just moving some of that heaviness out of your shoulders now, lifting it, lifting the weight off of your shoulders. That was quick. You were really ready to let go. Those of you that tuned in and allowed that. So now just allow yourself rest. Drink plenty of good water. Hydrate yourself. Fruit and fruit juices are great for hydration, but all of this is coming up to be cleared in this eclipse. So connect with Metatron and with this card and the codes. There's so many codes in this card that you can connect with and meditate on that will start to clear. And then just getting out of the energy of what people think of you or what you feel like you needed to be. I feel like this the basis of this is like society or family or friends or, you know, people that were close to you, whoever that may be, co-workers, may have at one point made you feel like you were wrong for the things that you did. And then that created more distrust with self is what Spirit's telling me. And the more we distrust ourselves, they're wanting me to redirect how I say this, so excuse me a moment. The more okay, they just want me to make sure it doesn't come off wrong, so I want to make sure I get this message correct. The less we trust in ourselves, the harder we are on ourselves. And when we're in that space, it really gets us out of our heart space. Like, we're not really tapping into our heart and our intuition anymore. We're really just kind of in our heads. Did I do that right? So you might be somebody who like does something and then afterwards you question it. Like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. I don't know if I should have done that. Or what if they took it this way, or what if they took it that way? It's like a lot of self-doubt, and that's what they're wanting you to let go of with this solar eclipse. Any more messages for this pile? Let go. Let go. I just keep hearing let go. All right. So whatever it is you're holding on to, it's time to let go. All right. Thank you. All right. I do believe this is pile number 4. If I get the numbers wrong, they will, if I'm saying them wrong right now, because the energy in here is just, there's been a lot of energy with all these readings. I will make sure that it is right when it gets posted. So if you have to hear me babble through that, I apologize, but just a lot going on. So let's go ahead and get started with this pile. And the first thing that's coming up is regeneration. And wow, there's some powerful codes in this card. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and channel some light language that wants to come through for it. So if you're open to receive, just say yes in your mind's eye. Aira stata matu funo no mana kana istiti yanana aina yat yama futu manana kin aira stiti yanana futu mana kana yatina yana sana aya futu mana kutu futu manana kana yashnita kin yanana aira to futu funo mana kana titi yanana aira to stu manana ka futu manana yana kin istiti yanana aira to stu to manana ka patani yanana. You have so many ancestors from Earth realm, from different star systems. Just, you see all of this light on this card. It's so beautiful, and there's just so much support coming through for you. You are in this portal of creation right now. And so it's really important that you're taking care of yourself and that you're really fueling and regenerating within the body. I'm going to go ahead. They asked me to leave this with the actual Metatron symbol out so that you can start to receive, continue to receive the codes through this. This is a powerful card. I'm feeling a lot. But let's go ahead and continue on with the reading. We'll come back to this at the end and ask if they need anything else. Okay, so the next card is the Hunter. So track down your fears and desires. Interesting choice of words. What Spirit is telling me is two things. You have gotten yourself into a place where you are so grounded and so connected, and you're doing a really good job with that, that it's really connecting you with the higher powers, with like your crown chakra is just blasted open, and there's so much energy coming in from your solar star. And so it's asking you, okay, not asking, thank you. They want me to confirm. What it's doing for you right now, what this solar eclipse is doing, is it is fully processing whatever is left to process, so that what you want, what you desire in your life can come in without any fear, without attaching itself to anything that's happened in your past, any alternate timelines that you may have known about for your future that have shifted. It's really getting you into a space where everything can actually come into creation. They want me to specifically use the word creation. All right, so we got the ruby crystal. And yeah, this energy, like this clearing that's coming with this eclipse for you, it might have felt like a lot between eclipses, like between the lunar and the solar eclipse. It might have felt like just waves of shadow coming up and clearing them, but you've processed through it. You've allowed yourself to feel through it and to lean in and let things go. And so now the energy that's coming through is like, it's your time to shine. It's your time to get out there and shine your light and be bright and not care what anyone thinks or says about you, because there's always going to be naysayers, right? Like whatever we do, until the full shift into the age of Aquarius happens, they wanted me to say that, not always. Until the full shift into the age of Aquarius happens, there will be naysayers. There will be people who will try to take you down, or who will think that who are not on your level specifically, who just can't understand the things that you're growing through, or the things that you've done, or why you do the things you do. And they're just saying, keep shining your light. Like, you're in a really good space, and it's time for you to step into that authenticity and start sharing some of your stories, some of the things that, not necessarily the things that you've been through, but more about what the transition is like and how that can help others. All right, and it's saying, surrender the idea that you can fix someone. So what I'm getting with this card is that, even though you're shining your light and you're getting out of this energy of fear and really stepping into your power and your deepest desires, and everything is coming into fruition for you, Spirit is asking you to allow other people to be on their journey, to be where they're at. And you don't have to feel bad if there's people that you've cut off, or you are not in the same vibration of, and you don't want to be around. Absolutely stick to your boundaries and don't feel bad about it, but allow them to be on their journey. Allow them to process through the things that they need to process through. And it's thank you, Spirit. The energy that they're giving me is like, now's not the time to hold hands and help people rise, right? So I feel like the energy of these cards is, if this is you, if this pile is for you, you've probably spent a lot of time helping fix others, or helping, like I'm getting a lot in the family dynamic. Like, you stepped up, you did things, you took care of things, maybe like the person that everybody runs to and like talks about each other, and you're the one neutral person that, just listens consciously and will help them with whatever situation. And that time is up. They're saying now you've carried a lot for a long time. I'm feeling a lot of weight on my shoulders. you've carried a lot for a long time, and it's time for you now to fully let that go and let people be where they're going to be. And if they rise up and they get in a better vibration and they let things go on their own and they learn for self, or if they specifically reach out to you, like I had a family member reach out this week that specifically said, like, I need help. I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And, you know, my response was let go and let God. You know, this isn't for me to take on anymore. I would love to be there for you and do things for you and help you. However, that's not my job. That's not my purpose. That's not why I'm here. And I need to start being more in my light and bringing in the things that I desire in my life. And part of that is not being the backbone of having to carry everything in the family, and actually allowing them to step into their power by being where they're at on their journey and processing through it. Is that all for that, Spirit? Yes. Okay. And then the last one is building your world, creation, expansion, and networking. And so 33, if this number has been coming up for you, if you've been seeing a lot of threes, that was the one thing the Spirit specifically pointed out that they wanted me to share with you. So if that's you, then this reading is definitely for you. And what they're saying is this time of going inward and taking care of self and kind of letting go of, not kind of, fully, thank you, Spirit, fully letting go of being there to help everyone else on their journeys, and just surrendering to yourself and the things that you need to do for your own healing and your own shine and your own relaxation and regeneration of self is going to be really powerful for you to move forward and create everything that you desire in your life, and so much more. I'm feeling like so much wow. Like, I'll tell you, the energy that I'm feeling is so abundant that I can't even I can't even put it into words. They're bringing me back to this card. So it just, all of this love and light that you're surrounded in, and there are so many higher dimensional beings that are on your side, that are helping you through this, that really are there for support. So if you feel at any time, and I feel like this group already knows this, but if you feel like any time like you've been set back, or you feel alone, or you feel like you don't know which way to go, be sure to call upon our guides. They're always there. We have free will, so they won't, they're not going to interject and tell us, what to do, when to do it, and they're going to let us make our own decisions. But, if you really need guidance and support, that's what they're there for. And there's so much support for whoever chose this pile. There's just so many good things coming in, and so much support from the other side. And fully believe that's what got you here, and that's what's going to keep you moving on the path to this just really abundant space. So, any more messages for this pile? Listen. They're saying listen. Listen. So you're getting guidance and support. You're asking for it, but you're not listening fully. So you may ask, something may happen, and you may say, oh, what's the reason this is happening to me? And then something might come up right away, and you're dismissing it, and you're not trusting into it. So trust and know that this team, of light workers, of higher dimensional beings in other star systems, and ancestors and passed on loved ones, they're all They're all in support of you. Yeah, so much energy. I'm gonna have to clear myself after this. But really, really, really good energy. It's just so much coming into you. Again, if you wanna, if you haven't screenshot that, hopefully it's clear. And they said show them the geometry. So, alrighty. Thank you. Moving on to the next pile. All right. So thank you for those of you that chose this pile. We're going to go ahead and get right into it. And the first card is speaking your word, activating the voice. Oh, and they want an activation. So if you're open to an activation, simply just close down your eyes, bring attention to your third eye space, relax your shoulders. Maybe if you need to loosen up a little bit, shake them out. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale. And I'm going to go ahead and open up your energy channel for those of you that are open. And I'm going to go ahead and do this voice activation for you. Ayana ye ye ma. Ayana ye. Ayan. Ayana ye ye mala. Ayana me. Wow, so you're really coming into a space where the illumination of the solar eclipse in the new moon specifically is action forward. It's getting you to really move and to it's funny the way they're saying this, to blow out any energy that's not in resonance with you anymore. So fully letting it go, letting it rise to, higher dimension, to a different space where it's not yours to carry anymore. It's for you to let go of and to open your voice and use your voice and call in the things that you want. So the next one is something is coming to life. All things exist within all things. As infinite breaths lie dormant within each breath, all of creation lies dormant within each thought. Creation is the essence that gives life to matter through thought, will, or a hidden desire of the soul. Positive news is forthcoming. Something is about to manifest. So yeah, just this last tapping into your creative space, and the throat chakra has a divine connection to the sacral space, and the sacral space is the point of creation. So it's like this last little movement that you need to actually get you into that space of calling in whatever it is that you're working on. And you've been working through a lot. You've been learning, processing through a lot, they're saying. And with this, I feel like this is actually learning in a higher dimensional plane. Like you maybe have started to learn something, and then your energy has shifted and upgraded, and what you were learning was no longer relevant for you, and so you had to move on to something that was bigger and better. And every time you're stepping up and you're gaining more power and more confidence. And so it's really heart-centered energy. It's coming really opening up. I feel like this is going to be like a full balance of like the center chakras, and just allowing yourself to open up to whatever else needs to come in through this eclipse season for you. All right, and then the next card is priorities, and it says you understand the paramount importance of manifesting love in all situations. So yeah, the reason that something is positive news is forthcoming and things are coming into fruition for you is because you've put so much love and dedication and just heart energy into what you're working on. It's not something that you're doing it for the right reasons, is what your guides are saying. You're doing it for the right reasons. You're not doing it to show off or to be in your ego. It's really coming from your heart space, and because of that, it's going to bring in a lot of abundance for you. Right, and then the last card here is you are the truth seeker, awakening, actualizing, transcending. And so the energy that they're showing me is just like this lifting, right? Like she's blossoming and coming out of this beautiful flower and lifting up, up, up. And that's, you know, exactly what we said with this is like your learning journey has started in one place and it's evolved and expanded so much because you've evolved and expanded your mind so much, and your heart. Thank you, Spirit, for making that clear. And your heart, you've had to expand your heart space to be able to tap into what's coming for you, because it's not for everybody. What's coming to you, it's with the end of this eclipse season, what's coming into fruition for you, into harvest specifically, is, yes, you've put a lot of work into it, but even the work isn't, like they're saying, the work is so superficial. Like whatever it is that maybe you're studying or you're working on or you're putting your time and energy into, like that part is so superficial compared to the amount of shadow work and the amount of loving yourself and opening up your heart and feeling worthy and being in a space of really being able to create the life that you want is so powerful and so uplifting. And it's because you've been able to shed the old stories, to let go of the past, to forgive, to trust in yourself, to fully trust in a higher power. That's really what's gotten you to this space. And because of it, just there's so many good things coming, so many good things. This eclipse season, you know, at times it felt like waves and there was a lot to process through, I feel like, for the collective as a whole. But there's so much good stuff, and the crystal energy that wanted to come through today, all of this golden energy, golden healers, golden calcite, just a lot of joy, bliss, abundance, wealth, really everything that you've opened yourself up to, and really connecting with the higher power is what's got you to this space. So they're saying allow yourself to celebrate, do something for self, you know, whether that's like getting out and doing something new, or buying yourself something new, or, you know, going somewhere that you've been wanting to go and you haven't had the chance to. It's like reward yourself with this, because what you have coming in is so magical, and yeah, it just feels so good. So yeah, it's a quick little reading for the last set, but lots of good energy. And if you liked the throat activation, you can go back and listen to it again. And the more you listen to it, the more it's gonna activate, and you'll start to notice your conversations will change. You'll be more communicative. You'll have a better sense of self, and you'll be able to, from that space, not only speak your voice, but create the things that you want. And some of those things I feel like are going to be soul shifting, and they're really going to help humanity shift, is what my guides are telling me. It's going to be like on a humanitarian level. So a lot of good stuff for this last reading. Is there any other messages, Spirit, that want to come through for this pile? Yeah, just allow joy. Allow joy. Receive it. Receive and allow yourself to be in joy. All right. Thank you. We'll see you next time.